It sounds like you were a great teacher because you are giving them important information to help them with their future, with their life, with being successful. And all tutors who enjoy, because I like to connect, um, enjoy when they come across a student because it is more fun. We can teach you. We love to teach because you're a teacher. Teachers love to teach. We love to pass on knowledge, to see the person progress. Your students, if they want to be successful, they need to have good command of the language, good expressive language. Um, it, no point in having lots of intelligence in there, yes, and not being able to express and communicate and show the world what you are capable of. Yes, but you are right.
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are spot. What we call spot on. You are spot on. Yes, um, and and it sounds like you were a great tutor. It's a teacher, um, because you are giving them important information to help them with their future, with their life, with being successful. Yes, yeah. Um, yeah, you have to learn to be expressive and in command of your own native mother tongue. And if you can do that, you will be successful in any language. I sometimes get students advanced who are CEOs, directors, or whatever, HR, this, that. Um, and they are technically great and they know millions of idioms and phrasal verbs and technically, syntactically, grammar is perfect, but they cannot connect with others using the
Hmm.
language, yeah? And they want to lead companies and teams. They can't, but they're perfect with their English, but they can't express. They don't have that level of expression, um, which you do. So, and some of my other students do. And when they do, I always find they are very competent and articulate in their mother tongue, in their native language. So this comes across when you are talking to me. Um, so yeah, who cares if you make one or two grammatical mistakes? Nobody cares. Well, we don't care. I don't know about Indians and judging Indians because that's very interesting. So tell me more. So on Cambly, native speakers, um, we don't judge because our culture it doesn't judge, and we love the expression. Yeah, you know. But you're saying, are you saying it is more easier and more relaxed on the platform when you're speaking to speaking in India? Tell me
Yes.
more. Tell me more.
Yeah. As far as judging is concerned, I think even if you come to India and if you speak Hindi, we will not judge you. It's
Ah,
our human mentality, right? So what happens when somebody is speaking the language from overseas, right? And like if somebody is coming from overseas and they are speaking your language, then you don't judge them, right? Because
okay.
you feel like they are from foreign and even they are making mistake, it's okay, right? That's what we think. But when somebody is from your place and they make mistakes, then you judge them for sure. So when I speak English here in India, yeah, in terms of their own English, people judge me in India, to be honest, right?
Oh,
Because they also learn English in India, right? And that's why even they will find somewhere grammar mistakes. They might, write down somewhere in comment, okay, you made this mistake. But native speakers do not care because they know this person have learned from, they have learned this language, okay? So even they are making mistakes, no problem, right? So even if you make mistakes in other parts of the world, in other languages, then they will not make fun of you. Like they are okay because you are coming from other countries. So you are not a native speaker, you are non-native speaker. So that's why I told you non-native speakers judge non-native speakers, right? But native speakers do not judge native speakers in any languages, I think so. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So
one more thing, right? You told about the, expressing the language is very important part. Okay.
yeah,
So
very.
I know one of my friends, okay, he's very close to me. Every day he has been learning 10, 12 phrasal verbs, idioms. He has, his mind is full of idioms, phrasal verbs, and everything. But when it comes to speak, he cannot express a single idioms and phrasal verbs, right?
Oh
So you
wow.
told it's right that people are running big businesses, they are leading big companies, but as far as their expression is concerned, they cannot express it well, right? They know perfect grammar, they know perfect English, they have lots of vocabulary in their mind, but as far as expression is concerned, they lack it, right? And that's where, the real game comes at play.
It does. It does. The real game does come to play because the beauty of connecting and speaking to people and using the tool, which is language, um, they are losing that opportunity um, because there is a theorist long time ago, um, and he said that language is the doorway to other worlds. Yeah, other cultures, other worlds. The way others that you have never met see the world and the way they think. So, language is the door to other worlds. You know, it's like a bit of magic, yeah, to
Yes,
see, speak, to learn. So, when you don't use that language, that key, that instrument, that tool, you are denying yourself of some amazing experiences. Um, so yeah, you can have the beautiful key or the beautiful instrument, yeah, the piano, the violin, and look at it. But if you don't use it, you cannot make beautiful music and you cannot enjoy the experience. So
yeah.
yeah, so your friend has beautiful instruments, but he is not using them. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you had an instrument and made it beautiful, and you are using it, because your
Mhm.
connection, I can imagine all tutors who enjoy, because I like to connect, um, enjoy when they come across a student like you, because it is more fun. We can teach you. We love to teach because you're a teacher. Teachers love to teach. We love to pass on knowledge, to see the person progress. But we also love engagement. Yes.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. So yeah. So wonderful. So tell me more then.
Yeah, you
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you truly said, like, language is an art, to be honest. Like somebody does painting or somebody creates a painting, they are expressing their own creativity in the painting, right?
There you are.
So it's not like, they are just randomly making something. It's within them. And somehow they are trying to narrate it with the picture, right? With some figure. That's what happens with language. Like it totally depends on the person's creativity because I have a little bit experience of training my students. I know, I found few of them sometimes, they're very creative. And the one who are creative, they are only able to express themselves. I have noticed it in their class, right? So it's a true creativity work, right? It's not less than any creativity, expressing yourself in any language. And richness of language comes out of your own, creativity, how
It,
creative you are within yourself.
yeah. 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 And having a connection with your creativity. Yeah.
Yes.
I think, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that you are broken with the creativity, right? Yeah, having a connection. Because I have seen one of my students, he is a very good painter, right? He paints very
Oh,
well. And I've seen his English is also very good. So I found one connection, like this man is creative in other ways too. And that's what transformed in English, right?
yeah. Is he good with his expressive English? And is he?
Yes,
Oh, oh wow.
yeah,
Because sometimes it's confidence as well, right?
yeah. No, yes, confidence matters a lot, and I think first and foremost thing is the confidence that matters in expressing yourself. So I have also seen few things. Like first of all, they are very confident. Whoever is good at speaker, right? They don't care about judgment, anything. They are confident within themselves. They feel comfortable. So feeling comfortable means you are gonna deliver, right? You are gonna speak your mind, right?
You are.
And which
Yeah.
is very difficult task.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are thinking behind back of your mind, what people will think about me, even if I'm gonna make mistake or something like that. That is the hindering point. Yeah, that's hinder you first.
Yeah. 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 But it doesn't hinder you on here, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's sad in a way because the key is to using it. Yeah. So you can only get good by using it. And you can only enjoy it and know how good you are by using it. Yeah. Um, example, you don't know how delicious something tastes by just looking at it. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
right.
but when you put it in your mouth, you enjoy the flavors, you enjoy the experience. Um, but if you
Mhm.
just look at it and talk about it and give it to other people, you have no idea what it's like. Yeah. So,
Of course, of course.
yeah. So it's sad if you
Yeah,
haven't got the confidence. Yeah.
mhm. Of course, of course. If somebody wants to taste how sugar tastes, then uh, they will have to take a spoon of sugar at least in their mouth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So unless they are taking the sugar in their mouth, they cannot realize what is sweetness, how it tastes. They can imagine in their mind, right? But imagination is not reality
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes, right? Yeah, imagination can be expressed in of different ways, but it's not reality. Yeah,
Yeah. And you can't tell them, um, I'm speaking English on this platform and I love it and it's wonderful. That's not their experience, that's your experience. Yeah. So they
right.
have to do
Yeah.
it themselves. Yeah. And and
Right.
and the more you do it, the better you get.
Of course, of course. Like I started speaking since 2020. Okay, before that I knew a little bit how to speak in English. I was adding few sentences, grammar, and everything together to speak. But since 2020, I start expressing myself in English somehow, right? And just within 4 years, I think I have improved a lot. I have few of my recordings of past, right? So
Yeah.
when I compare, I have traveled a long distance, and I know I would be not here if I keep working on it for a while, just for 2, 3, for next year,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 years. Then definitely I will take off. So yeah, because I have covered the ground now, I have to take off.
Yeah. You've done the difficult bit. The difficult bit is finished. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it has finished.
yeah, because you are fluent. You're actually fluent. So what made you start? What made you think I must learn English?
I mean, I saw the lots of the smart people speaking English around the world, right? So when just I was in sixth, seventh grade in my school, I had not privileged to be in very good English school of India, right? I studied in my native language, right? So what I saw, the people who are looking at smart on any screen or anywhere, like they know how to speak English. So if I want to be somewhere in the raw, like I have to be quite expressive. I have to speak English. So it has started playing in my mind, like how to speak English. I used to listen to cricket commentary. I
Yeah,
was listening in Hindi in those days, so I thought of transforming it into English because I sometimes I listen to English and I was not understanding anything, but I used to understand. It's it's a biggie, some few words that I could understand. Okay, it went out of boundary for six. I so these words made kind of it what can I stimulated me to learn English.
yeah.
And I thought of becoming a cricket commentator. I would
Wow.
commentary in cricket match in future, right? And
Uh-huh.
so I started watching cricket match again and again. I started listening to those cricket commentators, and they are from overseas, like they are native speakers, so they have very good English. And that's how I picked up English. I never focused on grammar or any parts of the English. Just I focused on listening and understanding their expression, right?
Yes.
So uh, I have been listening since long time, but as far as speaking is concerned, just 4 5 years now I have been speaking since then, right? So first initial step I took from looking at the smart people, like they know how to speak English, so I have to also learn it. And other thing was the connection with cricket match, okay, that transformed my English.
Wow, wow, wow. Um, you used a good methodology, yeah, a good methodology, which is learn. I always say to students, if they say, I want to learn quickly, how can I learn quickly? I'll say, well, if you want to learn effectively and quickly, listen to English, but listen about something you love. Because if you listen to English just for grammar, it will be boring and you will switch off.
Boring.
But if there is something you love, yes, and you want to learn about it or listen to it anyway, find it and listen to it in English. I always say that because this part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, if you enjoy something and you love something, you will learn it more easily. Uh, I was a government officer for education, and we did a because I don't know, I was a teacher 20 years, government officer 10. So we did a
Okay.
strategy of students who were finding things difficult to learn, and we made it enjoyable. And they were students who were failing students, you know, who were written off by education. And those children made 2.5 years progress in 12 weeks because we used a methodology.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was not allowed to test them. It was rigorous, it was a system, systemized and moderated. So it was a government strategy and it was very effective. And that's to do with this part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. If you make it enjoyable, learning is a default mechanism. Anyway, it was
Yes.
a pleasure speaking to you, Anand, Raj.